In this video, I'll review motioninvest.com, a place to buy profitable and income-generating websites. So if you're looking to buy one or sell a website, please stick around to see if MotionInvest is the right place to do it. Hey guys, I'm Torres and welcome back to my channel where I talk about making money online, everything from freelancing to website investing. First of all, I just wanted to say thank you for everybody who watched my previous videos I made and who's watching this video because it's a new channel. Every single view or a comment makes me really happy and makes me smile, makes me motivated to keep on going. So if you like this video at some point, please don't forget to press the like button. It will help this channel to grow and of course keeps my motivation going to make more videos. So as mentioned, today I will review motioninvest.com. That's another website brokerage I'm reviewing. That's a place where you can buy and sell income generating websites. And as with all brokerages, I'll review both sides, the buyers and the sellers one. So if you're just one of them, of course, just feel free to skip to the part that is relevant for you. I will review pros and cons and I'll share my personal experience from both sides. All right, so without further ado, let's jump into what is it like to use motioninvest.com as a buyer. So here I am in my motioninvest.com account. If I press buy a website button, I will land on all available sites that I can buy right now. They have around 20 right now available as of recording of this video. One thing that I like right away is that the URL of the website is really clear. That means I can make my own due diligence really fast using various tools because doing your own due diligence is really important. But the pro number one, actually, I would like to mention is that the affordability of the sites listed is quite good. They have websites, obviously, over the 100K, but they also have websites for 20K. There was one website for 8K somewhere hiding here. Thankyougarden.com can sort by price low to high. You see the cheapest right now is 8,000, 30,000, but to be honest, MotionInvest quite frequently also lists websites that are for 1,000, 2,000, 3, 4, 5,000. So if you're a beginner investor, you don't want to spend too much money on something that you're not yet very familiar with, MotionInvest will be a right place to do it. The pro number two is how easy it is to buy the site. After, let's say, I viewed the listing, it's past my due diligence and I'm really interested to get it, I can basically add it to cart. Once I check out, I'll just have to pay a 1,000 non-refundable deposit. Here is they're asking me to deposit the 1,000 first and then I'll do the remaining after we sign the contract. Just the ease of buying it, you don't need to write to the seller, you don't need to write to the broker. You basically can just really easily purchase the site. And the pro number three is their transfer service. After you buy the site, you're not just left alone to do the whole transfer and communication and signing the contract with the seller yourself. You will get support from motioninvest.com. They will contact you and say, here's the contract, please check everything, is this to your liking? Once you sign a contract, you transfer the final amount and then they will assign you a person from their team who will help you to do the whole transfer, to transfer for domain, transfer the site to your server, also change the Amazon tags, because if the site is monetized with Amazon affiliates, you will only start earning money yourself if you change the affiliate tags to your own tag. They support you throughout this transfer service, so that's really handy because even if you're experienced, that's still very nice. It takes a lot of things off your plate. All right, so the first con, if you are a buyer of the website, I think is the limited due diligence information. Don't get me wrong, it's obviously quite good. They do provide the main information about the traffic, the proof of income, some data on the keywords, some data on the links, site buddy, which is actually unique. The site buddy will show you how many of the products that are monetized with the Amazon affiliate have problems. Like for example, maybe the product is out of stock, maybe there is a wrong link, which means these are all missed opportunity to earn income. There are some original stuff, but most of it is, I would say, it's a little bit limited. The overview of the site is limited. There's no really buyer profile. I mean, there's a Q&A where you can see what the buyer answered to those main questions, but you're not really sure who are you buying from, where this person is from, how long this person had it, and this kind of, I think, crucial information. Also, the visualization of the data. I mean, besides the Google Analytics, which is quite great because you can even change the dates yourself and you can see all information. But for example, proof of income information, it's not really visualized properly for you to be able to see, hey, is this on a decline or is this going up? Because right here in this example, we see Amazon affiliates, but in some cases, The sites are also monetized with display advertising and other options, and they will just show you the table, but they will not show you the overall sort of growth. You would have to do the math yourself. I think they could do a better job of providing a due diligence information for the buyer. The con number 2 is relatively high multiples and their variable usage of different average income periods. So let me explain. First of all, the multiples, we can see the multiples listed here: 40, 42, 40, here 25, 37. I mean, these are relatively high multiples of the sites that are listed. They're being multiplied by income only. So absolutely no expenses are taken into consideration, not even a domain or a server or anything. So you are definitely paying a little bit on the higher side. The other thing I mentioned about the variable multiples. So for example, let's open this listing and let's open this listing and this listing, and let's see what are the different monthly average that are used. So for example, in this listing, the last 12 months is being used for valuation. Here it's the last 6 months. Another one is also last 6 months. And you'll see these things varying through the sites. Different sites will have different averages used. I'm pretty sure the reason is that for them to maximize the price. So they're just taking the average that is comfortable for them and obviously the site seller, because both the broker and the seller is interested in selling it for more. From the buyer side, you have to be really careful to see whether the site is not overpriced for what it is. And a con number 3 is the payment terms. The payment terms, as mentioned before, it is sort of quite easy if you're really 100% determined to buy the site. But if you, let's say, change your mind, you would have to make a non-refundable payment of $1,000 via the website. Imagine you made your own due diligence, you click to buy, you deposit $1,000, and something happened. Maybe you found a better deal for any other reasoning. That $1,000 is right now non-refundable, is basically lost. So I think as a buyer, that's not really attractive, because you have to make this commitment right now, and perhaps in a further due diligence, when you have a little bit more time, you discover something unfavorable for you, and there's basically no pulling back. I mean, you can pull back, but you lose $1,000, which is, I think, a substantial amount of money. So I don't really like it as a buyer, but that's the terms that they use. The main question is, can you trust MotionVest if you are the buyer of income-generating websites? In short, I would say yes, you can trust MotionVest, but you have to practice a little bit extra caution with this brokerage, because I did buy 2 websites through MotionVest, and both times there were small little hiccups. With the first site, my first ever site, there was actually a little bit more of the problem. The second site was smaller problems. However, both times MotionVest really owned to their mistake and offered a solution that was to my satisfaction. If you want to know more of what happened, please let me know in the comments and I'll reply to you there. Just for the sake of length of this video, I don't want to ramble too much about that. But in short, I trust MotionVest. I will keep on purchasing sites from this broker. However, I will be a little bit more careful each time. Alright, so what if you are a seller of the website? Should you use MotionVest.com? Let's take a look at the pros and cons of this broker. So the pro number 1, if you're a seller, is the transfer process. I think the same way I mentioned for the buyer, for a seller as well. To have third party take care of the whole transfer process, transfer of the domain, the server, updating the tags, giving the login information to the new owner, and so on and so on. I think that's really useful. Plus actually the whole contracts part as well, right? Because both parts wants to be safe when they make a transaction, right? Regardless of the size. You don't want to lose your money to the scammers, and you don't want to lose your site to the buyer who's not serious and who's gonna just take over the control before you got your money. So MotionVest is the broker who provides you support with the whole transfer. So I think that's really great. Pro number 2 is the high multiple. So as a buyer, obviously you want to maximize the amount of money you're gonna get. Different brokerages take different approaches. MotionVest is probably the most buyer friendly from the multiples point of view. I mean, the Empire Flippers also offer really high multiples. However, MotionVest don't take account any expenses that you have with this website. So not even a domain or a server. So basically any income they're just gonna take, they're gonna take 6 or 12 months average, and they're gonna multiply it by the multiple they think it's fair. You agree on the price and you're gonna list it. If you take a look at the site, you'll see that most of the multiples are actually in a high 30s or low 40s. So that's definitely on the higher side what you can get in the market right now. Another great thing for buyers using MotionVest is that they accept sites that are really small. The minimum that they will accept is a site that is making at least $20 a month. And that's really unique, because neither Investors Club nor Empire Flippers will accept such a small sites. Only Flippa. Basically, if you have a site that is making $20 a month, your options are Flippa.com, MotionVest.com, and certain Facebook groups that you can go and do direct transactions. If you have a small site, I think MotionVest is a great place to list it. So what are the cons if you want to sell a website using motionvest.com? The first thing I think is the high success fees. So basically they have a 15 to 20% success fees depending on the size of your site, meaning that if your site is on a bigger site, it's going to be reduced to 15. But to my knowledge, everything under the 100K, you will have to pay 20%, which would make them the highest success fee on the market, because even Empire Flippers, they charge 15 at the most. However, as mentioned before, the high multiples and the fact that they don't take any expenses into account might make up for it. The con number 2 is their Dutch auction pricing. They are using a system called Dutch auction, which means the price of the site is lowered every 2 days until it gets a bid or it hits the reserve price, right? So you set your reserve price, and if nobody's bidding for the site price will be lowered every 2 days. That means, hey, you're listing the site with the idea of I'm gonna sell it for really high, but then just the site is not interesting for the buyers. Every 2 days, the price will drop until you get a bid. It might be that due to the lack of attention on MotionVest, price gonna just keep on getting lower and lower, and that's just not great. Third con as a seller is the lack of attention and activity perhaps on MotionVest. The thing is that MotionVest is a relatively new brokerage. It has been founded around 18 to 24 months ago. It just is not as popular and it's not as known as other big brokerages. Here on Ahrefs, I have a comparison of their estimated traffic. So MotionVest.com, they roughly get around 400 visitors per month. Empire Flippers had astonishing 58,000, and Investors Club 800 visitors per month. Obviously these numbers are estimates, they might be skewed. Empire Flippers has also a big blog section that generates them a lot of traffic, but it still gives you in comparison that out of these three brokerages, MotionVest receives the least traffic. That means there's less buyers that will even see your site. All right, guys, so what do you think of MotionVest.com personally? Perhaps it's the first review that I've seen it, but what is your opinion after watching this video? Or perhaps you have your personal experience using MotionVest either as a buyer or a seller. I'm really curious to know. Please don't forget to hit the like button. It will really help to grow this video and, you know, get noticed by the YouTube algorithm, send some positive signals to them. And thank you for watching this video. I wish you an amazing day and see you in the next one.